Lift off. Oh, welcome. It's exciting times. So firstly, who are you and what is your business about?
So my name's Alison and I am an alcohol-free coach and rediscovery coach. So I work with women to help them to stop drinking or to change their relationship with alcohol. And then often with those women, it kind of opens a can of worms to the brilliant rediscovery work once they've removed the alcohol or significantly reduced whatever their goals are, to really kind of rediscover who they are, what the values are, what they want, and move forward from having a not very healthy relationship with alcohol in most cases to flourish and thrive and have a happy, peaceful life. In a nutshell.
You wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we know how you've done it, don't we? Because you've been there yourself, haven't you? And
yeah,
you was a moderator for on the Thrive Wellbeing branch as well for us. So you ran some groups and some messenger chats in there, some support. You did some supportive sessions, didn't you, for a number of women joined that, and a lot of women actually stopped drinking or re-looked at the relationship with alcohol, didn't they, through what you offered them?
Yeah, so I used to own a wine company, so
Wow.
I have my lived experience of navigating, coming to the realization that for me, alcohol wasn't working anymore. Well, it never was for me, but lots of people find that they're okay actually with alcohol, and then it shifts or they change or life circumstances change. And it's just for many women that recognition that, you know, for so many different reasons, that it's just not really serving them anymore. And it's so tricky because it's so deeply ingrained in our society that that's what we do and that we're boring if we don't. And, you know, for me, having the wine business, obviously, then I had to kind of move away from it. Been my whole career. I trained as a sommelier and worked in the on trade in bars, restaurants, hotels, and done a load of training for staff, worked for wine companies, and then had my own wine business. And yeah, it just got to a point. I mean, I had known all along. I'd known for a long time that I just didn't like the way that I felt when I drank, and I never had an off button. That was from kind of the get-go with me. But yeah, coming to that acceptance that, okay, this isn't going to work. I've tried for so long to get to a point where I was happy with my drinking. I literally tried everything there is for help with alcohol. I tried and nothing worked. And I was functioning, you know, I had my business, kids were getting to school, all of that, you know, all of the women pretty much that I work with say they're functioning. People don't know really that what's going on behind closed doors, or not even that, just how bad it makes people feel. So yeah, I just came to find acceptance that, okay, this is I'm never gonna be able to get to the place with it that I wanted to, which was having one or two drinks. So the only option for me is to remove it completely. And I went through this whole lengthy, almost like a grieving process of walking away from my career and business, but also because of the business I had, because it was an events company. Everybody knew me locally as kind of the wine lady because it was all local events, and it's just, you know, all the stuff that goes on in our heads about what's everyone going to say in the playground, and, you know, just all of that. What are my customers going to think? And it was just a really tricky time, but actually it's been the best thing I could have ever done. I was so fearful of what it would look like and how it would feel. And it's just been just wonderful to rediscover who I am without that crutch, because it was daily drinking really for me towards the end, and it takes its toll physically and mentally. Even if you feel like you're all right, for most people daily drinking will take its toll because of what alcohol is as a substance. And for me, I just got to the point where I had to accept that it wasn't working for me. And this is all very much about those women that are struggling. I appreciate that lots of people have happy, healthy relationships with alcohol. They're not the people I'm talking to. And it's not about demonizing alcohol as a substance or anything like that. It's just about those people that are finding that they're questioning whether drink is working for them. You know, they're looking into maybe taking a break or stopping completely. It's supporting those women.
Wow. I can relate to lots of what you're saying, and I know loads of women that are questioning this relationship with alcohol. I stopped drinking for my health because for me, alcohol made my body hurt.
Right.
Inflammation. It's not great it's a toxin. It's something that isn't that supportive. But what I was going to ask you was, I get a sense now that I've got a daughter that's 19 who already recognizes that she has got a challenge with alcohol, in as much as it's been normal since she was one of the kids that was locked down. So actually freedom after lockdown was just go out and get absolutely annihilated. And at 19 to make that realization, actually this isn't working for me, for me is really positive. Because she doesn't need to wait another 30 odd years till she hits whatever the next wall is. But are you finding that more younger people are discovering that, or do you still have an older demographic?
Most of my clients are over 40. I don't know if that's because I'm over 40 and that's just who I attract, but maybe. I have worked with younger women, and the stats are showing that younger people are drinking less or not at all. And it's just not really seem to be that cool anymore in the younger generations, like going out, getting legless, which is what we used to do, and having it snapped and put all over your social media. I mean, thank goodness there wasn't social media.
We didn't have cameras then.
It was so bad for me as it was. So imagine it's all over social media. But yeah, definitely younger people are starting to question because they're more health conscious, unfortunately, and this is obviously difficult in itself, but they're more conscious of the way that they look. But yeah, there's definitely shifts towards the way people are perceiving alcohol.
And there are other options now as well, aren't there? So
loads of other options. In fact, I heard a stat the other day that actually in Spain, one of the best-selling beers now is a zero alcohol beer.
Yeah.
Mad. Which not mad, it's great, but it's changing. Nina, we've got loads of comments in the chat. Nina says, I wasn't deep into alcohol, but after becoming perimenopausal, I couldn't stand even one drink. You're right, though, it is ingrained in normal society.
Yeah.
Emily Forster, hello, absolutely love Alison, such an inspirational, supportive lady. Nina, I'm known now for asking for a cuppa when others opt for fizz. Emily's put, I'm 1 year alcohol free and I've never felt better. It's interesting how many people you lose along the way, though. And I think that's true. Katie, lots of my friends' kids don't drink.
Oh, brilliant.
Nina, imagine Camera as a kid. Geez, I'd have been grounded for months. Me too, Katie. Me too.
Yeah.
So I think it is. It's a huge subject. It's a huge subject, and I think what you're offering. Well, tell us what you're offering. So,
with regards to my coaching, or you mean the Thrive offering? So, through my coaching, I offer one-to-one or group coaching, or I do programs. So, I've just kicked off today with a small group of 15 women to do an alcohol-free September program. So, I do them 3 or 4 times a year. I have an ongoing group of women that I work with weekly group coaching calls and workshops and all of that, all around being alcohol free. But not just that, it's all of the stuff that comes after that. You know how Emily just said about losing people. So it is an ongoing narrative. Like, relationships do change, and we have to really, to keep ourselves alcohol free and not be kind of white knuckling, we have to really look at on an ongoing basis what's working for us, who's working for us, in our life, and make adjustments. And so the ongoing group that I have is about kind of getting and staying alcohol free, or exploring. There's some women in there that are sober curious, and also all of the growth work that comes after that. And I offer one-to-one programs as well. And it's around the stopping drinking or addressing relationships with alcohol. Not everybody wants to stop completely when they come to me. Some aren't sure. So we work through that. And it's not about me saying, oh, it's no good for you. You need to knock it on the head. It's about the clients working out what is best for them and me supporting them to reach those goals. And often it will change along the way. So yeah, the one-to-one is about the alcohol first and foremost. And then it's about emotional sobriety. So looking at the way that we speak to ourselves, looking around things around shame, for example, which often comes up for people who have drank more than they wanted to over a prolonged period of time, boundaries work, all of that kind of stuff. and then the good bit, which is the rediscovery work, where we look at what their values are and whether they're living in alignment with them and how to flourish and do their wheel of life and all of those gorgeous bits. So that's what I offer as a coach. In the Hub membership, I have put together a workshop which is exclusively for the Hub. It's not anywhere else, about mindset around alcohol. So the most important thing with all of this is the mindset. We don't crave what we don't want. So we really have to change our beliefs about alcohol. So I've put together a workshop in there that is purely about this, because there are we can know in our conscious mind that, oh, you know, I overdid it a bit last week and I'm not feeling great because I'm drinking too much, for example, but still we can't stop. And that's because there are so many beliefs that we have about alcohol, which are all down to kind of as a society, how we view it, how it's marketed, how we can't really get away from it. You know, it's on the telly, it's all over our social media. So we have all of these beliefs like we can't go on holiday without having a drink, or we can't relax without having a drink, or we're boring, or, you know, we can't have fun. So it's all about addressing these beliefs that we have around alcohol so the pull isn't as strong. And I touch upon some of the science in the workshop as well, because often we can look at other people and compare. So quite often when I speak to clients for the first time, the first thing they'll do, and I still do it about my drinking, oh, I didn't, you know, I was functioning. I always say what I wasn't doing. And often we compare, so we can hear of someone else's experience and think, well, you know, I wasn't that bad. I didn't drink every day, or I didn't drink that much, so maybe I'm okay. And so it's really important to understand the science a little bit, so that it's not about comparison, it's about fact and looking at what alcohol is as a substance and what it does to our bodies, so that we can all make informed choices. Like I said, it's not about demonizing it, it's about providing the information so that women are able to make informed choices about whether or not they think it's for them.
Perfect. And is that going to be one of the masterclasses, Alison, or is that something extra?
No, that's extra. So that it was my contribution.
Oh, amazing. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's all done and recorded and ready to go.
So that's something that they can access literally by signing up today. They can get on there for £5. I mean, that is invaluable, I would say, to a lot of people. And actually, I remember when I said, oh, Alison signed up, and Anne said, oh, she's amazing, I've not drank since I had a session.
This is true, honestly. You know, Alison's been part of Thrive almost since the day we started, haven't you? And you came into the wellbeing and you spoke about alcohol, and I listened to you, and I haven't touched a drink for almost, well, it'll be 2 years in January. I did dry January, not this year, last year. And just directly through what you had spoke, it just sunk with me, and I just listened to you, and I really and I did used to drink, and I just never used to have an off button. You know, I didn't drink every night or anything like that, but it just felt like all the things you say. You know, but it was really good listening to you then, because when you give up drinking, you know, you're never sure that you always think I'm going to do it again, but then there isn't anything. I just want to know what there is for people that when they give up, you know, because you don't just give up and then you're over. You know, you just need support, because you don't want to be, like you said, with the same people doing the same things, and people do think you're boring. So, you know, there is people do need that aftercare, don't they?
Yeah, and for me, I the way I describe it is, when I was drinking, I watched other people doing all the things that I would want to do. So say if we were going out in the car somewhere on a Sunday morning, I'd see someone going for a run, I'd think, oh, I'd love to do that, but I feel groggy from the night before, so I can't. Or if we were on holiday and someone was in the pool doing an exercise class, or at Sunbrel, all these things, I used to think, I just had no self-confidence. I just couldn't do anything that didn't involve alcohol. I didn't really do anything other than drink on the sofa in an evening. I had the kids, once the kids had gone to bed, you know, well, not always when they'd gone to bed, you know, at tea time I'd start drinking, and they'd go to bed, and I'd sit on the sofa and drink wine. And oh my gosh, the things that I've done since stopping, like, I'm so grateful for that. I've just been immersed into a world of fun things that I didn't really realise were there, a lot of them, because I was too busy watching programmes that I'd forget on the sofa with my wine. So, yeah.
And our members going to be able to tap into that for £5 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? £5.
There will probably be a lot of women listening to this now that this conversation will resonate with them.
100%.
Probably wonder where support can come in. And we've seen support that you give.
And just changing that.
The support that you give. And we've witnessed other people stop drinking or just look at their relationship with alcohol. It doesn't have to mean that you actually stop, but it means that they're looking at, non-maladaptive ways of coping, aren't they? Your everyday life.
Because even you've changed your
I've changed. And another couple of women, I know that they've
and these are on the knock-off from you, honestly.
And it is from the support groups that you've put on a couple of years ago. So to see that happening again, we're so glad that you're here, and we're so glad that you're a part of it, because we can really verify you,
Yeah.
We're with you. We've been through it with you. We know what you do, and we know that you know your stuff.
You have got a fan club here, Alison, and we cannot wait to watch it grow, like literally grow even bigger. So, ladies, have you got a?
Will cost £5 to get the support from you. Do you know? It's like, go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah. And I think
for what you're offering, it's unbelievable.
And we put up barriers, don't we, to helping ourselves as like a form of
make excuses.
Yeah, I think like watching some of the previous interviews that you've done today, there's just such a wealth of knowledge and experience to tap into, and don't we all deserve that? Don't we all deserve to take a bit of time out and spend a little bit of money on ourselves just to see if something that we can pick up from somebody who's got life experience and is trained in helping with certain areas can shift something for us? Because I had to invest in myself in getting sober. I tried lots of the free stuff. It just didn't quite work for me for various different reasons. And I was petrified of spending that money because I knew I was about to give up my whole livelihood and kind of burn my career to the ground. But I'm so glad that I did.
What does that £5 equate to? One glass of wine per month?
Well, not even that.
A small glass of wine for a fiver.
Yeah.
Anne, have you got a question? I'm just conscious of the time. I could sit and talk to you for hours. Literally talk to you for hours, Alison. And I'm hoping that you've got some. And what we've said is, if some people don't want to do like a full masterclass at some point, just literally have a drop-in session where people can come and chat and have an open conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe even, obviously, I'm not sure what you guys think, but even book like mini slots throughout an hour or whatever people, because with this, it's sometimes people are conscious of having those conversations in front of even just like a drop in for a couple of hours with slots. Do you know what I mean? That people deserve to have a conversation.
Perfect.
Okay.
Right, Anne, take it away, love. What are you going to ask?
Basic question. If you could swap your life with an animal for the day, which animal would it be and why? You don't have to say and why, but which
animal? Oh gosh, I've been listening to these questions thinking I'm talking about the sobriety stuff, but this bit. I'm going to say, this is probably a really boring answer, but I'm going to say a pink dolphin.
I love that. Do you know why? Because you're bloody unique.
It's my unique animal because my 10-year-old's been watching it on David Attenborough. I love being in the sea. One of my although I think they're river dolphins, but anyway, one of my favourite sober things just is being in the sea, and my favourite colour is pink, so I'm going with that.
I could see you as a
celebrating that. I'm sure we will.
It's been lovely.
Oh, it's so nice to see you all. Really nice.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on today. You're smashing it.
I'm so glad you're a part of us, honestly.
Thank you for everything you've done and everything that you're going to do for anybody.
Oh, same to you too. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Congratulations. See you later.
All right, see you later.
Bye.